Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Tuesday, July 2nd, 2024 meeting of the Joliet City Council. Our mayor presiding, Terry Darcy. We will begin with an invocation from Deacon Carl Hubner from the Cathedral St. Raymond's at 604 North Rainer, and then after that he'll lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Before I begin prayers this evening, I was asked to request a moment of silence for Fire Captain Kevin Hargis, who passed over the weekend suddenly and at a very young age. And I chose this evening Psalm 34, with all of the violence in the world and unrest and unjust that's going on in our world. This is a psalm that one of the psalmists wrote to the Lord, asking the Lord. And the headline, or the head of the heading of the psalm is, "The Lord hears the cry of the poor." And we are all poor in one way or another, so it's all of our prayer to the Lord. When the poor one called out to the Lord heard, and from his distress he saved him. The angel of the Lord encamps around those who fear him and delivers them. Love the Lord, you holy ones, for nothing is lacking for those who love him. The great grow poor and hungry, but those who seek the Lord are want for nothing. And let us pray. And we pray for peace in our world. We pray for this council this evening, that they make fair and just decisions. We pray for our military personnel, those who are trying to keep the peace around the world, and we pray for police officers, firefighters, first responders, those who protect us. We ask the Lord to protect them. And we pray for peace in our world, peace in our country, and peace in our families. Amen. Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Before we begin with roll call, Councilwoman Ibarra is unable to attend tonight's meeting due to an illness. She has requested to attend remotely. That would require council approval. Is there a motion to approve this request?
So move. Second.
It's been motioned and seconded to approve the remote attendance of Councilwoman Ibarra. Councilman Cardenas?
Aye.
Councilman Clement?
Aye.
Councilman Guerrero?
Aye.
Councilman Hug?
Aye.
Councilman Mudrin?
Aye.
Councilwoman Quillman?
Aye.
Councilwoman Reardon?
Aye.
Mayor Darcy?
Aye.
Motion carried. We'll begin with roll call. Mayor Darcy?
Here.
Councilman Cardenas?
Here.
Councilman Clement?
Here.
Councilman Guerrero?
Here.
Councilman Hug?
Here.
Councilwoman Ibarra?
Here.
Councilman Mudrin?
Here.
Councilwoman Quillman?
Here.
Councilwoman Reardon?
Here.
Let the record show that Councilwoman Ibarra is attending remotely. First is the approval of the agenda. I did receive a request to remove Council Memo 311-24 from consent agenda to be voted on separately. So is there a motion to approve the agenda as written with the following change? Remove Council Memo 311-24, award of professional services agreement for development review and planning assistance for the Compass Business Park to Strand Associates in the amount of $205,000. Remove it from consent agenda to be voted on separately.
So moved.
Second.
Been motion seconded to approve. Councilman Clement.
Aye.
Councilman Guerrero.
Aye.
Councilman Hug.
Aye.
Councilwoman Ibarra.
Aye.
Councilman Mudron.
Aye.
Councilwoman Quillman.
Aye.
Councilwoman Reardon.
Aye.
Councilman Cardenas.
Aye.
Mayor Darcy.
Aye.
Motion carried. Next is citizens to be heard on agenda items. Jim Rolfe regarding Council Memo 317-24.
Good evening, Mayor, City Council, other city officials. My name is Jim Rolfe, and I'm here tonight representing the Joliet City Center Partnership and Priscilla Cordero, the Executive Director of the City Center Partnership, who is not with us tonight because of a family birthday. And I think that's a really important event not to miss. So as a board member, I chair the Economic Development Committee of the City Center Partnership. And it has been great to work with the city, the partnership, and other organizations as we continue to build momentum and create a new renaissance, if you will, in our downtown community and enhance the overall economic vitality of our community. You've heard me say many times, Joliet is the capital of Will County. In the last 10 years, we have seen the start of a renaissance in our city that most places would love to have. The large projects, the new small businesses, the new restaurants that have started in downtown, and the variety of things that are just going on broadly in our community are evidence of that momentum. Large scale, clearly the Rialto Theater has seen a huge resurgence, and in part to the challenge placed by the council on it a few years back to ramp up their efforts. We have a great Joliet Junior College Culinary Arts building. Clearly the Will County Courthouse or Judicial Complex is something any county in the state would love to have. As important as those developments have been, the creation of a city center square and the renovation of Chicago Street are equally important to the continued renaissance that we are experiencing in the special service assessment area, as well as the city center itself. I went back and reviewed my files, having been involved in the community on many fronts, and I pulled together, and Councilman Hug, I'm not going to read all these to everybody, but these are plans that we have developed both as a city and city center partnership to enhance our downtown community. And they date back, the farthest one I could find, and I know there have been others prior to that date, was 2007. So that's 14 years ago. All of them contained an element that spoke to the city center square, or the downtown square, whatever you care to call it, and the renovation or redevelopment of the Chicago Street corridor. Recently, we've been working with the city and through a very, what I would call deliberate and thoughtful process of planning to look at what we need and want to do downtown with the input from residents and the city at large. I think we've come up with a good plan, and we should not delay implementing that plan We have momentum, and we've seen the interest in downtown and the SSA area by developers and business owners alike. And I believe it's because of the energy around the city square and Chicago Street and the many infrastructure projects which you have approved and that are either in process or have been completed. Yes, they were inconvenient while happening, and I'm sure you got phone calls. But in the end, the right thing to do was done. And so I look at all of the things that we have talked about.
Jim, just to let you know, your 4 minutes are up, so if you could finish up.
I'll cut to the
If I might
chase.
make a motion or informally to let Jim finish, because he's not representing himself as a citizen, he's representing a partner with the city, so I wouldn't mind if he continues and finishes.
I'm all right. Everybody okay with that? Sure.
Thank you, and I'll talk faster. So we have a new plan, and that plan develops and encourages the creation of a vibrant public square, festival accommodations, physical attractiveness, pedestrian and biking areas. It creates a new heart to our city. And tonight, one of the agenda items that you have to award the contract to begin the process of making this reality is critical. And it will continue to generate excitement about downtown and our entire city. We have the plan. We need an affirmative vote to execute it. And I encourage you to give that due consideration. And I thank you for the opportunity to speak tonight and also for the extra time. Thank you.
Thank you, Jim.
If there is anyone else that would like to speak under citizens to be heard on agenda items, if you could form a line in the center of the aisle, and once the line is exhausted, we will move on.
Hi everyone, I am here again. I'm Diana Viveros. I am here speaking on 2 items on the agenda. Item number 317-24 and item number 320-24. I will be quick. First, on item 317-24, as Jim had recently spoken, I am also echoing his sentiment. I sit on the City Center Partnership Board. But additional to that, I have many hats in the community. I also sit, or I help administer the Joliet Running Club. And we meet downtown every week, Wednesdays during lunchtime, with business professionals, moms, local residents, every Wednesday to walk and run downtown Joliet. We've also started the summer night runs, which have been kind of difficult to run downtown Joliet with construction. And we are hoping to see a new city square soon for our runners to meet, and this brings in community. This running club started to not only help people be active, but then also help the small businesses downtown, in the downtown area, as well as the locations that we picked throughout Joliet. So we've expanded to accommodate to some of the construction that is happening in downtown Joliet, and we will continue to accommodate as this new construction happens for a beautiful downtown city square. But that's something that we're looking forward to as a running crew, because it is bringing the community together. We are seeing people outside of the community start to join, and then we are also partnering with local communities to bring people together to be active and then also support our Joliet businesses. So recently we met downtown. We helped support Richardson's. We also look at other locations throughout the downtown area, like Joliet Junior College's culinary programs, Azul Celeste, Puerto Escondido, to name a few restaurants that we visited through our running club. And so recently, we do want to see more beautification. We are kind of like the watchdogs because we do keep track of the sidewalks that do need some fixing because our runners are running. And one of them recently got injured through one of the sidewalks not being fixed. And so they hit a little hole and then twisted their ankle. And so speaking on behalf of the runners in our crew, which are actually meeting today on the west side of Joliet. But again, echoing Jim's sentiment on please voting on continuing this project because this is something very important to our community, and it's going to bring a lot of more shopping, more tourism, and then our runners. So we'll see more runners throughout the streets of Joliet. And then for item number 320-24, I'm here representing the Joliet Latino Economic Development Association for the CDBG funding. So again, we have been working on this project for now 3 years going if we get approved for this, and we've been helping the community members with getting their businesses started. But not only that, we're also connecting them to other services within the community, so to the Spanish Community Center or other services. So they come to us for help with their small businesses, but now we're seeing that they also need additional services. So we're connecting them to additional services throughout the community and with our partner organizations. And so within that, it all connects. So Leda and the City Square project, we also have our festival there, and so we would like to have it there in the next couple of years. I will be here to answer any questions regarding the CDBG funding for Leda, and then also if you have any questions regarding the City Square project as a part of the City Center partnership. And then also if you'd like to join the running crew, you're more than welcome, but that's another item for some time in the future. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Hello, my name is Boise Walker, and I am the president of Ezio Community Development Services, and I am here to speak on specifically the Diversity and Community Relations Committee, and specifically the CDBG funding. I reviewed the 2023 review of the CDBG funding, and one of the statements from the committee was for the council to be more involved with the review and recommendations of organizations for that CDBG funding. In 2024, that was a very similar comment. So it seems like the recommendation for City Council to be more involved with the review and recommendations for organizations that should receive funding. I think that's a fair recommendation coming from the council, so I think that should be a serious recommendation for 2025. As an organization on the east side, a Black female-led organization with a homeowner program that we submitted, we did not receive funding. We did not receive the required points needed for that funding. So I am disappointed for that. But my greater disappointment is that of the 14 applications that were reviewed, 9 were approved, and 5 of the organizations that did not receive funding, all 5 of them were Black-led organizations. So I think that's something for us to really take a deeper dive in to make sure that there's equity with the projects that are being approved for funding. Especially when we are looking to improve District 5 specifically. I know Manningdale, once it is zoned and properly City of Joliet property, it will be in District 5. So one of my other recommendations that I would like to make is just for us to think about the community that we are serving and the diversity that we see in our community, and ensuring that the equity is seen with all of the projects. So this is, I want to make sure that these public comments are included in the HUD reporting documentation for public comments. Thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone else? Moving on to appointments. Tonight, the mayor is recommending Tom Ponce be appointed to the Board of Fire and Police Commissioners. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
It's been motioned and seconded to approve. Councilman Guerrero.
Aye.
Councilman Hug.
Aye.
Councilwoman Ibarra.
Aye.
Councilman Mudrin.
Aye.
Councilwoman Quillman.
Aye.
Councilwoman Reardon.
Aye.
Councilman Cardenas.
Aye.
Councilman Clement.
Aye.
Mayor Darcy.
Aye.
Motion carried. Council committee reports. First is Diversity and Community Relations.
The Diversity and Community Relations Committee met here in the council chambers last Friday at 4 p.m. Hopefully not again at Friday at 4 p.m. And we reviewed all of the CDBG items that are present on today's full council agenda. We made the recommendation to approve all of them. I know there was a number of questions that were brought up yesterday about the qualifications for CDBG funding, what the rating rubric was. So rather than go through that now in the report, I'd like to have Mr. Michael Sindick come to the podium and give a brief presentation about the CDBG selection process.
Thank you for having me. So this review is an overview of what our funding is, the parameters for that funding, the categories in which we fund, and how the breakdown of this program year is going to move forward with council approval and submission to HUD. So first slide here is our program year 2024 application. Runs from October 1st of 2024 to September 31st of 2025. So our program year and our HUD entitlement fund is based on our 5-year consolidated plan, which runs currently now from 2020 to the end of September of 2024. The consolidated plan prioritizes our plan of action and is based on the needs of the city. And it creates a roadmap each year for our annual action plan. So we can't fund anything outside of the consolidated plan that is agreed on and submitted every 5 years. Our annual action plan is a summary of our actions, activities, and resources that we possess and how we will be utilizing those over the course of the next year. It's a summary of our goals and objectives, and it focuses on our priority needs as identified in the consolidated plan. HUD uses this submitted comp plan and our action plan to hold us accountable for our funding decisions. So we have to spend the funds in a timely fashion. We have to spend them on eligible activities. We have to spend them within the parameters of the comp plan and what HUD approves in our annual action plan. So there are 3 main national objectives from HUD that have to be met for funding. One of them is a benefit to low and moderate income persons or an LMI benefit area. So if you qualify on census tract as a neighborhood that is more than 51% LMI, you can affect or put funding into projects in that specific area. The second is if it meets an urgent need. And then third, aid in the prevention or elimination of slum blight. This year, the City of Joliet's HUD allocation was $919,459. That funding became available. We got that number in mid-April from HUD. Our applications opened on April 17th and closed on May 1st. The eligible activities categories in public service, we fund public service, but that has a 15% cap, which for this year means we can only spend $137,918.85 in that category. We also fund public facilities and capital improvements. We fund micro enterprise, and there is an administrative there's administrative funds that we can take from the overall allocation. We're allowed to take up to a 20% cap of that, which this year would have been $183,891.80. In our public service application, we received 3 that were awarded. CASA of River Valley for their attorney guardian ad litem project for $27,000. Will County Center for Community Concerns for their housing counselor program for $50,000. And the senior snow removal program for snow removal services for $45,000. So within that 137 that I said, we spent $122,000 awarding out of this category. So to be more specific, CASA of River Valley asked for $27,000 to provide child advocacy services to abused, neglected children with families involved in active legal or criminal cases. They anticipate serving 52 LMI residents. Will County Center for Community Concerns asked for and was awarded $50,000 for their housing counseling project, and they are providing HUD-approved counseling, pre-purchase, and foreclosure prevention services. They estimate that they will serve 400 low to moderate income residents within Joliet. It is of note that the Will County Center for Community Concern is the only organization that is providing this type of housing, HUD-based housing within the county. but specifically also within the city limits of Joliet. Our senior snow removal program is awarded $45,000, and that is for providing increased accessibility and safety of our senior age residents throughout the winter season with snow removal services. Our public facilities capital improvements program, Catholic Charities was awarded for their daybreak safety program $186,155. Spanish Community Center for their ADA accessibility applied for $82,260. Stepping Stones for their roof and AC repair was awarded $61,600. United Cerebral Palsy for their safety and security program, $35,000. And Will County Center for Community Concerns, their driveway improvement program for $80,000, totaling $465.15. The breakdown for that is Catholic Charities was asking for, they are providing added safety features and energy efficiency upgrades to continue sheltering the homeless and chronically homeless population. They estimate that they will serve 475 residents within the city. Spanish Community Center, ADA accessibility project, providing a barrier-free facility to increase inclusionary access to education classes and resources. They estimate that they will serve 5,000 LMI residents. Stepping Stones asked for, their project is a roof and AC repair project, providing suitable and viable housing updates to individuals seeking structured, supportive housing services. They estimate that they will serve 15 LMI residents. To continue public facilities, oh, there we go, sorry. United Cerebral Palsy, safety and security project, providing upgraded safety measures at the facility, offering resources to individuals with intellectual and developmental disabilities. They estimate that they will serve 500 LMI residents. Will County Center for Community Concerns, their driveway improvement project, they will be providing a resurfaced and ADA accessible driveway and parking lot to ensure barrier-free access to the facility resources, and they estimate that they will serve 9,500 LMI residents. For our micro enterprise fund, LEDA asked for business assistant project, providing technical assistance in both English and Spanish to local entrepreneurs and micro enterprise business owners. They estimate that they will serve 200 LMI residents throughout the city. And the city of Joliet submitted 12% for 12 out of 20% for administrative fees. These help us actively, it's an activity to delivery for activity costs. Wow. Program administration costs for planning, general management, oversight, coordination, and implementation of CDBG. These funds are not used for staff salary. Specifically for this year, this was the first time we had taken administrative funds in the last few program years. We have a consolidated plan coming up, and we will need to pay the consultant for that plan, community engagement, marketing that plan, materials for that plan. So the decision was made to take the administration, or make the suggestion to take the administrative fees. If we don't spend that total allotment, we can repurpose those fees to address other programs that we would have awarded. We would just submit a substantial amendment for those. This is a breakdown of what I just went through. As you can see, the different categories are there: administrative, micro enterprise, public service, public facilities, and all of that award totals $919,459. And then our timeline, we have to submit after this council meeting for HUD approval, but to get there, on May 1st, we had our application deadline. We reviewed and scored those applications during the month of May. We submitted to Diversity and Community Relations Committee last Friday at 4 o'clock. We're hoping to continue those Friday dates and maybe move it to 4:30 or 5, just out of convenience for everyone else. Today, obviously, it's at City Council for approval. If it is approved, or when it's approved tonight, we will open it tomorrow for public comment period, minimum of 30 days, from July 3rd to August 2nd. After that public comment period, we will submit it on August 5th to HUD for approval. The deadline to submit to HUD is August 15th, so we'll be submitting 10 days ahead of time, with a hope that by the middle of September, HUD will approve, and we can come back to council at the end of September for adoption. That is the end of my slides.
Question, Mayor? The consolidated 5-year plan that we can't deviate from, is that required by HUD?
Yes, it is.
Okay. Is that something new? I never
No,
heard
it's
that
not.
over the last, I know we've always done the action plan each year.
Yep, so the consolidated plan has always existed. The consolidated plan is kind of the 10,000-foot view. So there are areas to target, projects that you want to be done within that view, and the annual action plan is more kind of the boots on the ground, the execution of that plan.
So they want us to commit to a 5-year plan.
Always a
But they
5-year.
don't commit to how much they're gonna give us each of those 5 years.
So it is based on a formula, as long as our population doesn't change, or as long as our LMI population stays the same or roughly the same, and depending on how the market goes, which is based on HUD funding for allocations, it should stay roughly the same. Typically what we do, you notice that I said we didn't know what our award amount was until April 17th, but as early as February, I was calculating a 3-year average on our last 3 years to give a rough idea of what our allocation would be.
Thank you.
Mayor. Yeah, I'm on this committee, and I advocated last year and this year, I would like to see the council have more input. I know I'm on the committee, but before it comes to, this time, we're out in the community talking to all kinds of different citizens, and, we know some of the needs out there. And I did advocate that the council and yourself, Mayor, have more input before it comes to this time period. Like the April is when we know what funding we're gonna get, and then, we can have a little bit more input than the 3 of us on the committee, so.
Yeah, I think that's a fair statement. I also think that because we're we're coming up against a new consolidated plan, now is a really great time for council involvement, mayor's involvement, obviously community involvement, so that we can set forth a plan for the next 5 years that really feel like it's owned by Joliet, and that we are executing or implementing projects that really hit home and create the greatest impact.
Are those percentages? Oh, go ahead, Suzanne.
I just wanted to say that we expressed this at the committee meeting on Friday night. I think it's really important. We have 3 new people on this council, a new mayor, 2 new council members. So where we're going for the next 5 years, it has to be with the community input and involvement also of this council, because we're boots on the ground that are in this community every day. And this is the #1 thing that I get asked about. So I can assure you that when the public is unhappy with it, I'm getting, 10s, 20s, 30 phone calls about this money. And so the one thing we specifically, or I asked for, and I know that Councilman Clement and Councilman Guerrero agreed, is that there is some kind of a training class so the people who didn't have access to this or didn't realize the ABCs of writing this now take a little bit of that administration money that's the holdover amount and let them understand fully what is acceptable, what is not acceptable, and what has the best chance of being accepted, because this has got to be spread out there through the community better than this. And when I say this, I don't take anything away from those organizations. I'm sure they need the money, but I think it should be spread around in a more equitable fashion. Thank you.
Thank you. So my question is, on the 5-year plan, who sets those percentages of use? Is that something that HUD mandates, or is that something that we can then dial in?
So HUD sets those mandates, so we will always have the cap on public service, and we will always have the cap on administration.
Okay.
So I will say to the council, there will be probably no iteration where the city will ask for the full 20% of the administration fee. I personally, from this program, would like to keep it between 8 to 12%, depending on what actions we have coming. This year, the 12% made sense because of the consolidated plan and because of the need for a consultant for that execution. I also just want to point out quickly, it didn't make the timeline, but there was a workshop in March that laid out the application requirements, the the HUD eligible activities, did lay out the timeline for application, and did make available the team for any questions and concerns ahead of the application process. So we do that workshop already. Jackie and I are also prepared to, anyone who was not funded, to provide specific technical assistance for those specific applications, to walk through them to create a better, more equitable opportunity for a stronger, more competitive application for next year. So that is important to us as well, obviously echoed by council, and we're appreciative of that sentiment.
I have one more question.
Sure.
So what is the parameters of household income defining LMI?
It is on, can I go back to that?
Yep.
Sorry.
Yeah, did I miss that?
Yeah, it's okay. It was a small side on the first public service slide.
I'm gonna hit you with the jargon card, Michael, because most people sitting at home don't understand what LMI means.
Yep. So LMI is low to moderate income individuals. So you can see that in a household of one, extremely low, 30% of the average median income would be $23,600. And the chart just kind of goes from there. So a family of five that makes only $36,350 a year would qualify for extremely low 30% of the average median income. So that chart right there is a good example. Anytime you provide a service or a program within the city of Joliet where you are individually addressing clientele, they have to qualify per a HUD income verification sheet. So all of our public service agencies that are getting funded are also providing all of this information back to us, making sure that they are qualifying LMI families and individuals so that we can report that back to HUD.
And which one of the three, is there a preference, whether, if you have 10 that are extremely low, 10 that are low, and 10 that are moderate?
There's
no differentiation?
There's really no differentiation. It's just it's a good barometer to show where your highest populations of that in need of service are throughout the city.
So my last question then is, if I remember correctly, the Census Department, the U.S. government said Joliet's average household income, that's average, is about 72 or 74,000. That means that probably 50% or better would qualify as moderate. Correct? Yeah, I see moderate for an average family of four, we'll say, is 89,000, 80,000 for three. So they're close to that, right? Is it based on household income? Or?
Household income,
Right.
yeah. All qualifying over the age of 18 working individuals that live in the household.
Thank you.
Yep.
Thank you.
So, as you can see, we discussed a lot of these questions that came up tonight at the committee meeting also, and so we're looking forward to this timeline. As was mentioned, for the 5-year consolidated plan, I think presents an opportunity to address some of the questions and issues that were brought up today. It'll give an opportunity for us as a council to be a bit more involved in the process and to set the course for the next 5 years. So unless there are any further questions, that would be my report.
Next is Land Use and Economic Development Committee report.
That will be me again, filling in for Councilman Cardenas, who was absent that day due to a prior engagement. But the Land Use and Economic Development Committee met on Wednesday, June 26th, here in City Hall. Present was myself and Councilman Pat Mudrin. So we had a brief agenda. The committee reviewed a preliminary proposal from MWI Property Group for rezoning and a subdivision of 3801 Division Street. The parcel is currently zoned as B3, and the proposal was to consider I1 to allow for manufacturing on site. The committee supported moving forward with the proposal, as the group could operate a warehouse in the current B3 zoning, and a change in zoning to I1 would potentially minimize the impact on residents. So we'll say that there were a handful of public comments that came that were oppositional to the proposal, but again, we want to really emphasize this fact that as it stands, it is zoned to operate a warehouse on site without any modifications. So this change in zoning to I1, comes with conditions, and I think that proposal is the committee felt that proposal would be a bit better than what could be done on site as is. We also looked at an ordinance expanding the Des Plaines River Valley Enterprise Zone with an additional 46 acres. This is continuation of the last expansion, as the additional parcel was purchased by Cullinan Joliet LLC after their last expansion. Jim Teston indicated that Cullinan is now landlocked and does not foresee an additional expansion. This is, of course, the Rock Run Crossing Cullinan properties. We also approved the contract for our Joliet's Poet Laureate, who I believe is in the audience today. The committee also approved the resolution authorizing the City of Joliet to apply for a 2025 General Operating Support and Youth Employment in Arts Grant. And we reviewed a preliminary proposal from Northern Builders for their location on SEC Cherry Hill Road and Spencer Road. City of Joliet and the developer entered into an annexation agreement in 2022 approving for I-1 light industrial zoning. The developer will have to apply for future subdivisions of the property, and as a committee, we approve the support for this project. So,
Good job.
and that would be my second report.
Thank you.
Public Assets Committee report.
I am also a fill-in tonight. Our chairperson, Councilwoman Ibarra, wasn't sure she would be up to it. I told her I'd be happy to read her report. So here we go. The Public Assets Committee met on June 20th, 2024. Present was myself, Chairperson Ibarra, and Councilman Cardenas. The committee received an update from the Joliet Area Historical Museum, which included an overview of the Railroad Museum, the Route 66 Visitor Center, the Plan and Sec Market Museum, and the old Joliet Prison. We discussed the prison lease, which is currently in negotiations with the state. The committee received an update on the Joliet Slammers in the stadium. The Slammers season is currently underway, as are several ongoing maintenance projects. The committee discussed a personnel change in the Slammers organization. Longtime employee and city partner Heather Mills has left to seek other opportunities. She obviously will be sorely missed. She was such an asset.
Oh, no.
Yes, the committee thanked her for her service to the community. Facilities manager Blaine, I'm sorry, Blaine, I know your name. Blaine Klein gave an update on the all city-owned and managed facilities and upcoming maintenance projects, as well as the creation of an online portal through which to direct facility maintenance requests. And that was our meeting, wouldn't you say?
Yep.
Okay. Anything to add, Susanna?
No, thank you so much.
No problem.
Just a quick question. Who did you say was going to replace Heather? Or they haven't found anyone?
I don't
yet?
know that we were not told any
Okay.
replacement yet.
Huge loss.
Yeah, it is.
Thank you.
Public Safety Committee report.
Thank you. Yeah, the Public Safety Committee met today here in the council chambers at approximately 5:32 p.m. Councilwoman Coleman and myself were present. Susanna, I hope you're feeling better. She was unable to attend. We approved the minutes for May 7th, but pushed the June 4th minutes to the following City of Joliet Public Safety to bring onto the full council. There were no citizens to be heard on agenda items. On the agenda, there were two items. The first one was the purchase of one new vehicle for the undercover drug enforcement. That would be a 2024 Ford Edge, not to exceed $45,000, and that's gonna replace a older vehicle. Secondly, there was a request to approve an award of contract to High Point Solutions for portable LiDAR-based vehicle detection and warning system. So this this company provides a equipment and data that's going to help monitor all the, I guess, high and long vehicles that are on our roads, especially in the intermodal areas. There's been a lot of complaints from the citizens and obviously from District 5 about, vehicles, trucks that are traveling on roads that are not designated for their vehicles. So what this is going to do is monitor all the trucks that are too high, basically trying to prevent any of these vehicles from hitting bridges and keep them on the roads that they're meant to be on. John, not Joe, right, Chief? From High Point gave a presentation. We asked him to come back if this is approved. Actually, it's going to be on the agenda probably in a few weeks, to give a presentation, and there could be public and obviously the council to ask any important questions. This will also, down the road, take care of some heavy equipment. The chief spoke also, and he's requesting possibly the city purchasing a mobile unit, and you'll get a better understanding when the presentation comes. But this will be a mobile detection unit that we can move everywhere throughout the city, not just down at south of town here. And he's looking for a 3-year commitment. The unit is $30,000 with a $3,200 a month fee. So what this can do too is the police then can review the data, the footage, and we can down the road track down the company and driver and potentially cite them. Is there any more that I need to add, Jan? I think that was.
No, covered it all.
Okay. Chief, anything I need to add? No, sir. Okay. I think we'll get a better understanding, but this is, I think the people of Joliet are gonna want this big time. I think it's gonna help on, down the road, we're talking about more scales for trucks, and this is gonna stop a lot of the trucks from going on these side roads and disrupting all the neighbors in traffic and everything else, okay? So if there's no questions on that, I'll move on to resolutions. Resolution approving intergovernmental agreement with Plainfield Community Consolidated School District 202. Basically, this is just an agreement. This is a renewal, nothing new. And then number 2, a resolution authorizing an execution of a memorandum of understanding between the City of Joliet and Presence Central and Suburban Hospitals Network, DBA, Ascension St. Joseph Medical Center. So basically, you got attorneys from both sides drafting up over 100 pages. And basically what this is we're going to share information with the hospital. The City of Joliet Fire Police Department will share information with the hospital. So that's what this is. New or old business, there was not any. Public comment, there was not any. I did have a conversation. I could save it to the end, but since I'm on it, I talked to Jeff Price, Fleet Services Director. You know, the city bought a lot of new equipment, and I suggested that prior to a city council meeting, maybe we can, Beth, we can set up maybe almost like a touch-a-truck. We have, a 1.5, we spent $1.5 million on 4 ambulances, so $375,000. The public can maybe, in the city council, and can come out and see what are you getting for your money. And before these vehicles hit the street, the public can come out and take a look and see what these vehicles are. So we have an ambulance, a brand new ladder truck, that was $1.5 million. We have a couple battalion chief expeditions. We have some police squad cars. I just think it'd be nice that the public can come out and just see what our tax dollars are buying. So basically that was the end of my report. I threw that in at the end. Jan, if there's not any questions.
Did a good job.
Okay. So that's my report, Mayor.
Thank you.
Public Service Committee report.
Saving the best for last always, right? Public Service met here at City Hall and Council Chambers yesterday at 4:30 in the afternoon. On the committee is myself, Councilwoman Reardon, and Councilman Mudrin. Councilman Mudrin did notify me yesterday and was out of town attending to important issues. And welcome back, Pat.
Thank you.
Myself and Sherry, we had no problems, right? It was a relatively short agenda under the contracts we had 4. The first contract we looked at was sent forward without any recommendation one way or the other. And that's the one that's already been spoken by Mr. Rolfe tonight for the $20 million for the city square and the streets and water main. And correct me if I'm wrong, Greg, I don't think I'm overgeneralizing. This is really 2 separate projects combined that can be done at the same time. Even if we didn't do the plaza, we still need to do the infrastructure.
That's correct.
You know, we need to, years ago, they narrowed the streets, and some look back now and realize how big of a mistake that was. So we need to widen the streets back to normal. We need to, you know, we're doing the vaults, we're doing the water and sewer, which also has some, you know, when necessary, some other lines, private lines in there, or fiber optic lines that could be affected too. So it's a rather large project, correct?
Yeah, it's essentially two projects.
And that's about 11
The
million
roadway
of
and-
20 million,
Yeah, right. The
correct?
total
And
is
about
20.
9 or 9.5 million is for the plaza.
That's correct.
Okay, thank you. So, myself and Councilwoman Reardon discussed it. We both agreed to get more information, which was provided, I think, to everyone today via email by the Public Works Director. Then we looked at a $150,000 contract for a professional services agreement for professional engineering support services to Baxter and Woodman. They're part of what was created to be qualified pool so that we don't have to slow the process each time. I think it was last year, I can't remember which month, we did an RFQ, or RFP, I think, for proposal. 59 companies responded, they listed their hourly and so forth and so on. So based on that, getting a commitment to what their hourly would be and the fees, we narrowed it down to, you know, maybe a baker's dozen, depending on the category or specialty. So that's what that's referring to. They're getting ready to use them for a project. Then we looked at a $205,000 professional services agreement for the development, review and planning assistance for the Compass Business Park North Point to Strand and Associates. That's really a matter of housekeeping. We're gonna pay the $205,000, but like most of the costs for the North Point development, North Point will be reimbursing the city for that $205,000. So it will not ultimately be city taxpayer dollars paying for that. We also looked at a award of professional service agreement for the water loss control technical assistance program to Kavanaugh Associates for $248,412. Some time back, the water department, Allison and her consultants and crew, we kind of took a new direction. We weren't seeing the reduction in water loss that we really wanted to see. So this is part of that program, and so it's unnecessary consultant. And I'm going to do a spoiler, Allison. Preliminarily, in the last several months, there's been some promising numbers coming in. So let's cross our fingers. Too bad this isn't wood. We'll knock on wood. You know, I think we're going to get this lion controlled by its tail, the water loss. So then we had two change order pay estimates and final payments. They're both related. They have to do with the Olympic Boulevard, Hobolt Road improvements for the what do you call it? The Rock Run Collection, the retail, commercial, residential mixed-use development that's being built out at 55 and 80. So there was some confusion in separating bridges from roads, essentially. So we had to balance that out. So we took away $409,000 from the one contract, and then there was an increase of $347,000 for the other contract, most of which obviously would have been from, you know, just switching the amounts from one contract to the next. Under ordinance and resolutions, it was standard housekeeping. You know, when you decide you're going to start spending money, certain funds, whether they be grants from the state or federal government, or whether they be motor fuel tax, they then have to take the next step and approve to pay for what you just said you wanted to do. So one was for $2.5 million from the Rebuild Illinois bond funds for the streetscape that was already discussed. And oh yeah, and then we had an authorized task order number 4 to the professional fee agreement for water and sanitary sewer engineering services associated, again, with the Compass Business Park. Again, some housekeeping for the items above it. Other than that, I don't have anything else. Sherry?
I just want to thank Mr. Ruddy for getting that information for us so quickly and thoroughly. I feel very confident in approving that city center. So, thank you.
All right,
Thank
Mayor,
you.
that would be my report.
Thank you.
I show no other reports. Moving on, under consent agenda, approval of the minutes. It's recommended the minutes of the pre-council meeting held on June 17th, 2024, and the minutes of the council meeting held on June 18th, 2024 stand approved as recorded. Invoices to be paid. It's recommended this report be received and placed on file. Council Memo 311-24 was previously removed from consent agenda to be voted on separately. Council Memo 312-24, award of professional services agreement for professional engineering support services to Baxter and Woodman in the amount of $150,000. Council Memo 313-24, award of professional services agreement for the Water Loss Control Technical Assistance Program to Kavanaugh and Associates, PA, in the amount of $248,412. Council Memo 314-24, approve change order number 1 for the Olympic Boulevard Hobart Road improvements to PT Farrell Construction Company in the amount of $347,850.97. Council Memo 315-24, approve change order number 2 for the Olympic Boulevard improvements to D Construction, reducing the amount by $409,100.82. It's recommended Council Memos 312-24 through 315-24 be approved. Is there a motion to approve all said consent agenda items?
So moved.
Second.
It's been motioned and seconded to approve. Councilman Hug?
Aye.
Councilwoman Ibarra?
Aye.
Councilman Mudrin?
Aye.
Councilwoman Quillman?
Aye.
Councilwoman Reardon?
Aye.
Councilman Cardenas?
Aye.
Councilman Clement?
Aye.
Councilman Guerrero?
Aye.
Mayor Darcy.
Aye.
Council Memo 311-24, award of professional services agreement for development review and planning assistance for the Compass Business Park to Strand Associates in the amount of $205,000. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion, comments on this one?
It's been motioned and seconded to approve. Councilwoman Ibarra?
No.
Councilman Mudrin?
Aye.
Councilwoman Quillman?
Aye.
Councilwoman Reardon?
Aye.
Councilman Cardenas?
Aye.
Councilman Clement?
Aye.
Councilman Guerrero?
No.
Councilman Hug?
Aye.
Mayor Darcy.
Aye.
Motion carried 7-2. Under agenda items, Council Memo 317-24, award of contract for Chicago Street Streetscape, Jefferson, Cass, City Square, and water main improvements to Austin Tyler Construction in an amount not to exceed $20,107,270.88. It's recommended Council Memo 317-24 be approved.
So moved.
Second. Any comments, any questions, any
Mayor.
comments? Sure.
Yeah, I mean, it's, this has been in the works, you know, a long time. It's a lot of money. I wish the, improvements to the road and the actual project here for the square would have been separated. You know, two separate companies or two separate bids. I have no problem with any of the, contractors at all. I'd like to see, and I know we spoke before the meeting, Mayor, in the near future, you know, maybe our contractors and Beth and our city staff, we can all come together and bounce some ideas off so we have a clear understanding when these bids come out. And, you know, maybe they have a checklist just to get everybody in a room so they could vet their concerns. But again, this project's been a long time coming, and it's a lot of money, and I know we need a lot of needs all over the city. But I mean, to stop now and like Jim said, you know, we have a renaissance coming here, and to stop it wouldn't make sense to me. So those are my comments.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Can I speak, Mayor?
Sure.
I've done a lot of traveling over the last few years, and every good city that I wish to come back and visit again, such as Utica and LaSalle, they all have one focal point of the city. It's one focal point where they have events, where they do, you know, musical performances, and it actually is a huge money maker for every good city to have this focal point. And so I'm definitely thinking we should not kick the can down the road and stall this project another 10 years. The time is now. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mayor,
Yep.
you and I talked at length today, and I was kind of waiting for Mr. Hug's report tonight. So now that it's broke down, because everybody's calling out $20 million for town square. But there was different, over the years, there was different prices that were given out, and then everybody thinks it's just for that. I've been wanting a town square for a very long time. And I was against this at the end because I was for it all the way, but I just couldn't understand how we could do all this at once. But what I would ask is that maybe in the future, we could tweak this better so it'd be more user-friendly to all the families that want to come down to Joliet, because right now, there's not that much down here for people and families to do, and if we could attract them in some other way, in addition to this, this would be an asset to our downtown. And I agree with Susanna Bear. Every small town I went, they have a small town where everybody goes on Friday night to listen to the bands or fireworks or what have you. So I've been trying to justify this all afternoon, but now that I got the breakdown, that the major cost of this is the infrastructure, the water, which has been sorely needed for so very long. So I will hold my vote till it's my turn.
Sure. Mayor? Well, you know, and it's great. I grew up in a small town. I grew up in Mokina back when it was 2,800 people. Joliet is not a small town. It is the third largest by population, second largest at almost roughly 70 square miles. So there's a lot of focal points from east to west and north to south. A downtown would be good, but let's not pull punches. This is going to be the 13th or 14th time since 1974 that this city has tried to turn around downtown, and each time it's been a failure. This one could be a success. My hang-up is on the fact that, and I want to be clear, I'm glad Councilwoman Quillman brought it up. For those watching, it is not $20 million for the plaza. It is $11 million for the infrastructure, road improvements, water, and sewer that you're seeing being done all over town. I mean, in fact, I've gotten a lot of complaints, as everybody up here, about all the roads being torn up right now. So 11 million of the 20 million goes towards that. Even without the plaza, as I made clear earlier, we're still gonna be spending 11 million, and we need to, on the infrastructure, on correcting one of the past downtown mistakes and kind of screwing up Chicago Street for the biggest length going through downtown. My hang-up is with the $9.5 million that was originally estimated verbally when this all started some years back, 3.5, 4 years ago, at 6 to 7 million. Now we're up to 9.5. We went to 8 million, 9.5. I'm very frustrated that a former director who's no longer here never gave us a breakdown last fall. We were all here when I asked for it. We never got it. You know, so that's not anybody, no staff member here is responsible for that. No member of this council is. I'm a little disturbed that we don't have any projected maintenance cost or budget for this. This is a large asset. So moving forward, you know, when it comes time to vote, I'm still going back and forth, but I can tell you this much, I would not support any change orders, not at $9.5 million for the plaza. So, I mean, granted, since we started the project too, I want full disclosure, we had this horrible economy that's been plaguing us for 2.5, 3 years with high inflation. That raised, and too bad we couldn't have bid this out 3 years ago, but of course, who remembers what happened 3 years ago? COVID, shut down in our state. We weren't Florida, we weren't Texas, we were shut down. So there's a lot of things we had to do. So I'm torn. I'm willing to give the downtown one more chance too, if it's done correctly. You know, like I said, part of the process of doing it correctly this time is correcting the big mistake they made by narrowing the streets or whatever they did and putting these people with this cutout metal people on. You've all seen them down there holding lanterns. I don't know what that was all about. I didn't know at the time when I drove past it and saw it. Did somebody forget their decoration? I was thinking to myself. So I'm a little disturbed. I mean, I'm really disturbed by no maintenance schedule, even proposed or estimated. Or do we have one, Greg?
I don't think we have a detailed one at this point, yeah. We have looked at items to make sure they are low maintenance, but we have not budgeted, as we're going through the budget process, we'll be adding those items in.
Well, I would request, and I don't know if the rest of the council would be interested in getting a detailed one. As soon as you can put it together, you know, whether it's 2 weeks, 4 weeks.
We can do that, yeah.
Okay. All right, with those comments, I'm gonna let everybody vote the way they want. I'm not here to convince somebody for or against it. I did want to point out my hangups on the $9.5 million portion. Again, 11 million is just part of the big ongoing water, sewer, and streets. We've been spending 14 to 18 million, correct number, Kevin? Yes? On streets and bridges and sidewalks for the last 3 years. Allison, we're spending hundreds of millions on the sewer and water. That's part of that, folks. The 20 million is not solely for the plaza. It's for the infrastructure, which would be improved at $11 million, even if we were to say no to the plaza. But they weren't put in two separate bids or two separate contracts, so they come together. They're in tandem. So with that, that's my comments, Mayor. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other comments? Kevin, can I clear something up too on this? I know part of this is funded by $2.5 million from IDOT for the infrastructure and roadways, and I believe there's 3 million for the city square.
Correct,
So the $8.9 million square is really 6.9 million.
correct.
And this process started back in 2015. It kicked the can to 2016, 2017, 2018. I can only imagine if we had prepared for 3 years and done this in 2018, it might not have been 8.9 million. So the longer we wait, the more it's going to cost to invest into the downtown. And this is going to be the radiant part of our downtown. I know that a lot of people, I've been to events at the Rialto, and I'll sit next to somebody from Wisconsin or Iowa. We get that one chance at a first impression. And that is the jewel of the downtown is the Rialto. So I feel pretty strongly that this is going to be a good investment. And then we'll continue to phase out through town over the years. So those are my comments.
Mayor, if I may add also just there's consideration for the timeline that we are, of course, approaching our centennial anniversary for the Rialto. So to have this project done in time to coincide with that is, I think of the utmost importance. That because we will have people coming to Joliet for the first time, as you said, having a first impression, and we'd like for them to be sort of, return customers, so to speak. And we'd like for anybody that's going to visit Joliet in 2026 for the first time, for the 100-year anniversary of the Rialto Theater, for the 100-year anniversary of Route 66, that they're given a good first impression, that they feel the need to come back, and that we hope that they continue to visit us.
That's a good point. Really, that's important because I think, according to Bob Navarre, we're really going to be the epicenter of that 100-year anniversary of Route 66.
Mm-hmm.
And I shouldn't say this, but my mom's going to be 100 the same year, so I want to
Add
make
her
sure.
to the list.
I want to bring her down to the Rialto, and I've got a 26 Ford we gave the museum to bring her down in, so all the hundreds are going to happen at one time. So thank you for all your comments.
It's been motioned and seconded to approve Council Memo 317-24, award of contract for Chicago Street Streetscape, City Square, and water main improvements to Austin Tyler Construction in amount not to exceed $20,107,270.88. Councilman Mudrin.
Aye.
Councilwoman Quillman.
As I said earlier, I went back and forth. When you break it down, it's not like 20 million and it's not the 12 million. It's for the infrastructure, and it's to make our city number 3. Maybe we could be number 2. Maybe one day we'll be number 1. But I'm tired of people saying, "Oh, Joliet. Oh, Joliet." So I've been fighting with this all afternoon with myself, to be going back and forth with the costs and everything, the emails I was getting, and phone calls. I need my sidewalk, I need this. Well, we're working on that, but we can't do your sidewalks until the streets are tore up to do the plumbing and all the infrastructure. So yes, Mayor, I was a no. I was absolute no. But I've changed my mind. But again, I hope that in the future, after this starts, that we can tweak this up and make it more palatable for our needs to bring people down here, so there's more things for families to do. So with that said, and you're right, we're going to be the epicenter here with the 100th anniversary of everything, Rialto and Route 66, and they're going to be going all over in our city. So after that long dissertation, suspense, I vote aye.
Councilwoman Reardon.
Aye.
Councilman Cardenas.
Aye.
Councilman Clement.
Aye.
Councilman Guerrero.
Aye.
Councilman Hug.
Just to be clear, as I said, just so we're on record, when it comes to the plaza portion of this project, I will not support a single change order for increase. It's already gone above what we originally wanted. And we need to have, I hope we've learned a lesson from so many mistakes, including the artworks we put throughout the city. How many people here are familiar with that? Well over half of which look like garbage, because we didn't have a maintenance schedule. So now we're looking to take them down, right? Because it costs too much to try to refurbish them. Doing the downtown with a plaza, if it's kept up with a maintenance schedule, can be beautiful. I get that. If it's let to go to pod, just like the artwork campaign they put together some 10, 15 years ago, then you're gonna make the downtown looking worse. So I need to see that. Greg, please, give us a detailed maintenance schedule with a 5-year projection, at least. Okay, with that, I'll vote aye.
Councilwoman Ibarra.
Great things are happening here in the city of Joliet, and we are all going to make sure that great things happen here. So I vote aye. Thank you.
Mayor Darcy.
I vote aye, and I have to apologize to my mom, you're not supposed to tell a lady's age.
Motion carried.
Oh, you'll get it.
I know.
Under Resolutions, Council Memo 319-24. A resolution approving City of Joliet's Senior Snow Project for inclusion in drafted action plan as program year 2024 CDBG activity. It's recommended said resolution be adopted.
So moved.
Second.
It's been motioned and seconded to approve. Councilwoman Quillman.
Aye.
Councilwoman Reardon.
Aye.
Councilman Cardenas.
Aye.
Councilman Clement.
Aye.
Councilman Guerrero.
Aye.
Councilman Hug.
Aye.
Councilwoman Ibarra.
Aye.
Councilman Mudrin.
Aye.
Mayor Darcy.
Aye.
Motion carried. Council Memo 320-24. A resolution approving Latino Economic Development Association Business Assistance Program for inclusion in drafted action plan as program year 2024 CDBG activity. It's recommended said resolution be adopted.
So moved.
Second.
It's been motioned and seconded to approve. Councilwoman Reardon.
Aye.
Councilman Cardenas.
Aye.
Councilman Clement.
Aye.
Councilman Guerrero.
Aye.
Councilman Hug.
Aye.
Councilwoman Ibarra.
Aye.
Councilman Mudrin.
Aye.
Councilwoman Coleman.
Aye.
Mayor Darcy.
Aye.
Motion carried. Council Memo 321-24, a resolution approving Spanish Community Center ADA accessibility for inclusion in drafted action plan as program year 2024 CDBG activity. It's recommended said resolution be adopted.
Move to approve.
Second.
It's been motioned and seconded to approve. Councilman Cardenas.
Aye.
Councilman Clement.
Aye.
Councilman Guerrero.
Aye.
Councilman Hug.
Aye.
Councilwoman Ibarra.
Aye.
Councilman Mudrin.
Aye.
Councilwoman Coleman.
Aye.
Councilwoman Reardon.
Aye.
Mayor Darcy.
Aye.
Motion carried. Council Memo 322-24, resolution approving stepping stones, roof and AC repair for inclusion in drafted action plan as program year 2024 CDBG activity. It's recommended said resolution be adopted.
So moved.
Second.
It's been motioned and seconded to approve. Councilman Clement.
Aye.
Councilman Guerrero.
Aye.
Councilman Hug.
Aye.
Councilwoman Ibarra.
Aye.
Councilman Mudrin.
Aye.
Councilwoman Quillman.
Aye.
Councilwoman Reardon.
Aye.
Councilman Cardenas.
Aye.
Mayor Darcy.
Aye.
Motion carried. Council Memo 323-24, a resolution approving United Cerebral Palsy safety and security cameras for inclusion in drafted action plan as program year 2024 CDBG activity. It's recommended said resolution be adopted.
So moved.
Second.
It's been motioned and seconded to approve. Councilman Guerrero.
Aye.
Councilman Hug.
Aye.
Councilwoman Ibarra.
Aye.
Councilman Mudrin.
Aye.
Councilwoman Quillman.
Aye.
Councilwoman Reardon.
Aye.
Councilman Cardenas.
Aye.
Councilman Clement.
Aye.
Mayor Darcy.
Aye.
Motion carried. Council Memo 324-24, a resolution approving Will County Center for Community Concerns driveway improvement for inclusion in drafted action plan as program year 2024 CDBG activity. It's recommended said resolution be adopted.
So moved.
Second.
Been motioned and seconded to approve. Councilman Hug.
Aye.
Councilwoman Ibarra.
Aye.
Councilman Mudrin.
Aye.
Councilwoman Coleman.
Aye.
Councilwoman Reardon.
Aye.
Councilman Cardenas.
Aye.
Councilman Clement.
Aye.
Councilman Guerrero.
Aye.
Mayor Darcy.
Aye.
Motion carried. Council Memo 325-24, a resolution approving Will County Center for Community Concerns housing counseling for inclusion in drafted action plan as program year 2024 CDBG activity. It's recommended said resolution be adopted.
So
Motion to
moved.
approve. Second.
It's been motioned and seconded to approve. Councilwoman Ibarra.
Aye.
Councilman Mudrin.
Aye.
Councilwoman Coleman.
Aye.
Councilwoman Reardon.
Aye.
Councilman Cardenas.
Aye.
Councilman Clement.
Aye.
Councilman Guerrero.
Aye.
Councilman Hug.
Yes.
Mayor Darcy.
Aye.
Motion carried. Council Memo 326-24, resolution approving Casa River Valley Attorney Guardian ad litem for inclusion in drafted action plan as program year 2024 CDBG activity. It's recommended said resolution be adopted.
So moved.
Second.
It's been motioned and seconded to approve. Councilman Mudrin.
Aye.
Councilwoman Quillman.
Aye. I just took a big gulp of water.
Councilwoman Reardon.
Aye.
Councilman Cardenas.
Aye.
Councilman Clement.
Aye.
Councilman Guerrero.
Aye.
Councilman Hug.
Aye.
Councilwoman Ibarra.
Aye.
Mayor Darcy.
Aye.
Motion carried. Council Memo 327-24, a resolution approving Catholic Charities Diocese of Joliet Safety Project for inclusion in drafted action plan as program year 2024 CDBG activity. It's recommended said resolution be adopted.
So moved.
Second.
It's been motioned and seconded to approve. Councilwoman Coleman.
Aye.
Councilwoman Reardon.
Aye.
Councilman Cardenas.
Aye.
Councilman Clement.
Aye.
Councilman Guerrero.
Aye.
Councilman Hug.
Aye.
Councilwoman Ibarra.
Aye.
Councilman Mudrin.
Aye.
Mayor Darcy.
Aye.
Motion carried. Council Memo 328-24, a resolution authorizing execution of a memorandum of understanding between the City of Joliet and Present Central and Suburban Hospitals Network, doing business as Ascension St. Joseph Medical Center. It's recommended said resolution be adopted.
So moved.
Second.
Second.
Been motion seconded to approve. Councilwoman Reardon.
Aye.
Councilman Cardenas.
Aye.
Councilman Clement.
Aye.
Councilman Guerrero.
Aye.
Councilman Hug.
Aye.
Councilwoman Ibarra.
Aye.
Councilman Mudrin.
Aye.
Councilwoman Coleman.
Aye.
Mayor Darcy.
Aye.
Motion carried. Council Memo 329-24, a resolution approving an intergovernmental agreement with Plainfield Community Consolidated School District 202. It's recommended said resolution be adopted.
So moved.
Second.
Been motioned and seconded to approve. Councilman Cardenas.
Aye.
Councilman Clement.
Aye.
Councilman Guerrero.
Aye.
Councilman Hug.
Aye.
Councilwoman Ibarra.
Aye.
Councilman Mudrin.
Aye.
Councilwoman Coleman.
Aye.
Councilwoman Reardon.
Aye.
Mayor Darcy.
Aye.
Motion carried. Council Memo 330-24, a resolution to approve the Poet Laureate contract for 2024 through 2026. It's recommended said resolution be adopted.
Question,
moved.
Mayor.
Sure.
Did we find out who the young man was?
He's here, isn't he?
He's at the audience, isn't he?
The one in.
He's in attendance if you'd like to come up.
And was he the winner with the Joliet poem? No, but I mean, it was a really good one. We don't know. I wasn't able to contact my neighbor today, so I apologize, but.
Hello.
Hi.
My name is Uxmar Torres. I was one of two gentlemen that read poems on that night at the museum, but I was lucky enough to be.
You were the winner?
Yeah. to win.
Okay. Could you state your name, please?
Uxmar Torres.
And did you bring the poem with you tonight?
Yes.
Mayor, can we indulge?
Absolutely.
Can you read it right now?
Yeah, I got you.
Thank you. I heard it was fabulous.
Oh, thank you. You can judge for yourself. So this is a poem entitled A Light O'er the River. My legs hang over the river. I sit on this bridge while the sky blends a rich mixture of orange and plum. The sun hasn't quite set, but the stars have begun to arrive. I hear a train somewhere behind a ballpark and its fireworks. There is a rhythm beating life into the city's limestone heart. I hear the bells of a church, the voices of people of faith, beacons in the dark to those who at times lose our way. We are what courses through her veins, a boy chasing a lightning bug, a busy mother stopping for a moment to glance at the moon in all of her glory. The street light where I live, it lives in a tree, nestled between branches and illuminating its leaves. Down the street, a haunting prison harvests our screams, both once upon a time and every year on Halloween. Old bravery is kept alive in our children, uniquely molded into tigers and steelmen, scholars, athletes, artists, parents, abuelos, amigos, y vecinos. The neighbors on my block are welcoming and warm. Together, we laugh, endure, and recover from the storms. While often time escapes us and space divides us, come dusk each evening, we all find a light that guides us. Thank you.
Thank you so much. That was just a beautiful, beautiful poem. Now, you said there was another winner?
No, just one.
Oh, there's another guy.
That night.
Okay. Oh, all right. You're confusing me. Don't confuse me. Thank you.
There was a motion to approve Council Memo 330-24. Is there a second?
Second.
It's been motioned and seconded to approve Council Memo 330-24, which is a resolution to approve the Poet Laureate contract for 2024 through 2026. Councilman Clement?
Aye.
Councilman Guerrero?
Aye.
Councilman Hug?
Aye.
Councilwoman Ibarra?
Aye.
Councilman Mudrin?
Aye.
Councilwoman Coleman?
I would like a copy of that. Aye.
Councilwoman Reardon?
Aye.
Thank you.
Councilman Cardenas?
Aye.
Mayor Darcy?
Aye.
Motion carried. Council Memo 331-24, resolution authorizing task order 4 to the professional fee agreement for water and sanitary sewer engineering services associated with the Compass Business Park. It's recommended said resolution be adopted.
So moved.
Second.
It's been motioned and seconded to approve. Councilman Guerrero?
No.
Councilman Hug?
Aye.
Councilwoman Ibarra?
No.
Councilman Mudrin?
Aye.
Councilwoman Coleman?
Aye.
Councilwoman Reardon?
Aye.
Councilman Cardenas?
Aye.
Councilman Clement?
Aye.
Mayor Darcy?
Aye.
Motion carried 7-2. Council Memo 332-24. A resolution appropriating Rebuild Illinois bond funds for the Chicago Street Streetscape, City Square, and Water Main Improvements Project in the amount of $2,501,760. It's recommended said resolution be adopted.
So moved.
Second.
Second.
It's been motioned and seconded to approve. Councilman Hug?
Aye.
Councilwoman Ibarra?
Aye.
Councilman Mudrin?
Aye.
Councilwoman Coleman?
Aye.
Councilwoman Reardon?
Aye.
Councilman Cardenas?
Aye.
Councilman Clement?
Aye.
Councilman Guerrero?
Aye.
Mayor Darcy?
Aye.
Motion carried. Council Memo 333-24, a resolution declaring certain real property as surplus and authorizing the sale of said surplus real property, sale of 7 residential parcels. It's recommended said resolution be adopted.
So moved.
Second.
It's been motioned and seconded to approve. Councilwoman Ibarra?
Aye.
Councilman Mudrin?
Aye.
Councilwoman Coleman?
Aye.
Councilwoman Reardon?
Aye.
Councilman Cardenas?
Aye.
Councilman Clement?
Aye.
Councilman Guerrero?
Aye.
Councilman Hug?
Aye.
Mayor Darcy?
Aye.
Motion carried. Next is the city manager's report.
Good evening, everyone. First of all, before I get into all of my remarks, I just want to thank my colleagues here at the City of Joliet for all the years that have gone into the planning for the City Center Square. I mean, this has been happening since 2015. The amount of involvement that has been engaged with the community and just hearing all the voices has been remarkable, and I want to thank the council, all of you, for your vote on this. I think I agree with Chairwoman Ibarra that great things are happening in Joliet, and there are a lot of wonderful things happening downtown. I think we don't talk about the positive enough. You know, JJC downtown, Rialto Theater putting more money in. City Center Partnership is so involved with all the businesses, and everyone's really pouring their heart and soul into this. And I know, Councilman Hug, you said this has been attempted before, but I feel really good about this one. There's a lot of really great people, council members, community members, staff who are pouring their heart and soul into this. So I think we have a lot to look forward to. Great things are happening here, and this is just one of them. So a special thank you to Greg's team, Lisa Dorothy, who's our head engineer on this. She has been working her tail off in getting all these vaults filled and, talking to contractors and getting all details that we can get in. I hear you on the change orders. I agree with you, Councilman Hug, on change orders. I think the council and myself were getting a little tired of a lot of the change orders. Sometimes they're necessary, but it's an important thing to highlight. So we will be communicating that with the contractors.
I agree with you about Lisa Dorothy. She's amazing.
Yes, she's amazing. Thank God she's not ready to retire yet, because she's just a diamond in the rough there. And special thank you to Jane Bernhardt, too, for all of the, community input. I think Jane is here, but the hours that she spends in the community getting input, sending out surveys, doing all of that. And it's not just these people either, it's everyone. This is a team effort for the city. So thank you to everyone for that. And Mr. Torres, thank you for that poem. I think it just encapsulates what we're all feeling. If you live here in Joliet and really care about it, I think you captured the hearts of many of us and how we feel about it. So thank you for that. A lot of great things happening. I hope I can steal that from you, Councilwoman Ibarra. It's great. Okay, on to just what has been happening the last couple of weeks. We've had several meetings with the Grand Prairie Water Commission, including one just a few hours ago. All 6 communities have now formally approved the intergovernmental agreement, the water supply agreement. We've appointed representatives to the commission, authorized the bylaws and program management agreement, and much more. Allison and I will continue to keep the council and public updated on our activities, but it's just great to finally be officially formed and moving ahead with this very important water project. And thanks to Allison for all of her meticulous work on this. It is not easy work, very detailed, meticulous. So thank you for that, Allison. I attended the Will County Governmental League legislative session on 6/20 with the mayor. We were updated on, many of the legislative actions taken at the state in this last budget, one of which was the grocery tax. So we talked some about that, and we'll be coming forward with more information on our collaboration with our surrounding communities and how we can pass something on our own to make sure that we maintain these monies that are needed for our community. I, along with many others, attended the Public Safety Open Forum on June 26th. The Chief Carey, Chief Evans, Mayor, and their teams did a great job. I think it's the first of its kind. We hope that it will be one of many. It was a complete success, and I'd like to thank all who attended or watched at home. Thank you, too, as well, to Sergeant Dwayne English for his moderating. He did a great job, and it was very productive. I would say the meeting was very productive. Everyone was heard, and I look forward to the next one. Just recently, I went to the chamber member breakfast with all of our state officials, senators, and our representatives. The thing that stuck out to me the most of what they all had to say about the budget or the budget process was Larry Walsh Jr., very concerned about transportation, working with us with IDOT to start to control some of this truck traffic. So he talked about that for a bit and how hard we're working on that, and that's what resonated most with me as a priority of this council and mine. So we'll keep pushing on that. On Saturday, Harley and I had the opportunity to attend a day of healing held by Tomorrow Starts Today. It was a very moving and meaningful event. The community was all out, great speakers, delicious hamburgers and hot dogs, and just a way for the community to come together and acknowledge some of the difficulties, but more so celebrate together that we're all working together and moving forward in a positive way. So thank you for that event. That was a lot of fun. Ladies' Night Out was held downtown Saturday night. I'd like to thank City Center Partnership for organizing that event. And I just want to do a quick reminder to everyone about upcoming events this week. Tomorrow, July 3rd in Bicentennial Park, there will be fireworks, food trucks, and music from 6 to 10 p.m. We'll have fireworks at Busey Bank Field at Joliet Memorial Stadium that opens at 6 p.m. and the fireworks will be at 9 p.m. And I'd like to wish everyone a safe and happy 4th of July. That's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you.
Next is public comments. First is Michael Johnson.
Hi, I'm Mike Johnson, and I've been banned from the old Joliet prison for over a year now.
Excuse me,
I
is this mic on?
respectfully, I'm sorry.
Can you speak into the
Oh,
microphone?
sure. I respectfully request that the mayor and this council reverse this ban on my wife Christine and myself. I'm one of the 13 terminated and one of the 7 accused of crimes and banned by Greg Pierbolt. I began volunteering at the Joliet Area Historical Museum in 2007. In 2017, I was asked by Greg Pierbolt if I would conduct tours at the old Joliet prison where I used to work. I started what became the guard tour in 2018 with Ron Trujillo. I'm retired from the Department of Corrections with 25 years of service. I started as a correctional officer in 1984. I was promoted to correctional counselor in 1990. In 1995, I became a state certified alcohol and drug counselor. I transferred to the Illinois Youth Center on McDonough Street in 1998, and I retired from there. I'm a lifelong Joliet guy. I was born and raised in Joliet at the old Silver Cross Hospital. I was born. I attended Woodland School and Washington Junior High School. I graduated from both Joliet Catholic High School and the College of St. Francis. In between high school and college, I enlisted in the Army at age 17 and served as a tank crewman with 19 months overseas with the 3rd Armored Division. After my retirement from corrections in 2007, I volunteered for the Abraham Lincoln National Cemetery Memorial Squad. We provide military honors for our fallen veterans. In the 17 years I have been there, I've participated in over 6,000 funerals. In September 2019, I was given the Everyday Hero Award by Shaw Media for my overall volunteer service with not only the museum, but the Memorial Squad, and also work I did with a lot of pet rescues. I played Santa and stuff like that for pictures. In addition to the Memorial Squad, I currently volunteer at the Illinois Rock and Roll Museum on Cass Street since July of 2023. On May 26, 2023, I was terminated via email by Greg Pierbolt. Again, I was a volunteer. He accused me of intimidation, threats, and doxing based on me liking a Facebook photography page that apparently he didn't like. He also banned me from the old Joliet prison where I worked for almost 15 years of my professional career. The Joliet Area Historical Museum, where I had volunteered since 2007, and all properties under control by the Joliet Area Historical Museum. I am formally asking for this ban to be reversed on my wife and myself. If the reversal cannot be done solely based on this formal request, I would like a meeting to be arranged between us, the City Council, and the museum board. Thank you, and I am not a criminal.
Thank you.
Ron Trujillo.
Well done. Said good. Good evening. I had a list of things that I was gonna talk about. I'm not gonna do it. Each of you should have received a letter, hopefully last week. Otherwise, I'd have wasted a lot of stamps regarding being terminated from the museum. I did nothing to be fired or terminated. The museum, scratch that. The prison is very dear to me as well as Mikey and most people who work there. You form a bond with that place, believe it or not. It's a hellhole, excuse my language, but working there, you bond with it. I was so happy to see the city take it over to get it back up and running. I didn't think I'd ever be back there again, but lo and behold, volunteering on the tours as input because of my experience there with the history tours, and end up getting hired. And I put my butt in that place, like most of us did. I haven't talked in front of a crowd, God knows how long. Especially I got to get the gab working in the joint. But anyway, the only thing I'm guilty of is being a Packer fan, okay? I would like the ban lifted. It was not warranted. I did nothing, I reiterate, nothing to get terminated. Basically, that's it. Hopefully you got the letter and you reviewed it. And please consider it. Have a good evening.
Thank you.
Is there anyone else that would like to speak under public comments this evening?
Mayor and Council, a couple things. My wife and I, Ron Romer from the Rock and Roll Museum. A couple things. We got here a little late. I wanted to say something about the downtown, supporting the downtown projects financially. We got here a little late, so it's a little late to present that. But I do want to say that to Councilman Hugg's point, that it's been tried. It's been tried. We've been trying to do this for a while. I think what's going to make this a success is that everybody here gets behind this and keeps pushing. Don't sell ourselves short to say that we're not going to support it moving forward, that we're not going to give any more into this to the point of the murals, the things like that. There's going to have to be money put into it. We're going to have to find grants. We're going to have to find other means of doing this. We just can't simply give up on downtown. Many of you here already know what Joliet downtown used to be, and there's a good chance that this is the time that it's going to come back to that again. There's a lot of people here that are trying hard. I had written, I wanted to say that many of you support the businesses down here. You may know Gina and Amber Jitters, or their Gina's son Dan, who opened up the sign shop, Monica, who opens the glasses. My wife and I get our eye care there. There's jewelry stores, there's restaurants that employ a lot of people here. We can't give up on downtown. Now is the time to make this happen and to make good on this, but do it knowing that there's going to be more that we're going to have to do later, not just enough to get this there. I ask for that. The other thing, and I didn't expect to come here and talk about this, but I do want to mention that people, you've heard the Rock and Roll Museum is now the home for these volunteers. I just want to say, I see, I hear the things that they've been through. They're good people. They're people who have done their job. They come to the museum and work on the weekends. In our place, you probably don't know this, we don't have HVAC yet. It's hot in there some days, and they're up there sweating their butts off. They come on time, they show up to do what they need to do. We've gotten the second floor project. The first floor took a long time because we're grant writing and fundraising to make this happen. Second floor is flying by because of their help. They're really good people. I don't want to get into any political discussions because museum or anything like that. I'm just telling you, some of these people I've known for a while, some of these people I know are having problems trying to replace the job that they left. You know, in fear of being accused of whatever happened. I don't know. All I can tell you is character witness that they've been good people. They've helped the museum, and you know, I stand behind what they're doing, what they're trying to do. It's not fair. Mike is a military man. He's out at the Lincoln Cemetery burying, you know, our heroes, really. And these people here are good people. So I just want to put that on record to say that. Thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone else that would like to speak?
Hello, you guys. It's Kathy again. Hey, I was listening to the presentation on the HUD thing. You know, that single individual total of $23,600 requirement thing here, and I'm a little puzzled, you know, because, you know, I get SSI disability, and, you know, needless to say, we are way below that with people with disabilities, are way below this HUD requirement level. You know, we are even way below the federal poverty level. You know, people on limited SSI income, you know, a minimum $943 a month. You times that by 12, it's $11,316 we get for the whole year that we are expected to live on. And we have our medical issues, and they're not cheap. And my medical issues ain't even improving anything. But, you know, we're $3,744 way below the poverty level, the federal poverty level of $15,060. Over $12,284 less than the HUD requirement that we get. We are way below this. More help needs to be done for people with the disabilities. And like in my situation here, where I'm like helpless with my situation with, you know, my mother's place being sold by my greedy brother, and Joliet business called Whimsy buying the place, and as some of you guys know, that Whimsy was never gonna let me back on property to get my things. The vehicles that were there were still there, were towed away and towed over to Dick's Towing last month. I tried to make contact with Dick's Towing yesterday about trying to see about getting my vehicles back, which I was packing stuff in them, because I figured I was gonna get my money from my share of my mom's place and go get my new place and move them things into her. Well, I called Dick's Towing yesterday, and it wasn't even a month. They already sent the vehicles away to be crushed and smashed. I tried finding out, well, where did they take the vehicles to? They will not tell me where they took the vehicles to. I told the guy it hasn't even been a month. He says, oh, we picked them up on June 2nd. And I said, yeah, this was yesterday, yeah, and it's July 1st. As soon as I said that, he hung the phone up. He refused to talk to me and tell me where they took my vehicles at. I want my vehicles back. These are two companies that are in Joliet that have screwed me. I don't know what more is gonna get taken from me besides maybe the clothes on my body. Another piece of it's been hard just trying to live. I went down to Wilmington and sat at a shooting range in the dark by myself, just sitting here trying to get my wits together. You know, it's very hard just to face this world anymore. I just keep losing, all because of all this development that you guys are so proud of. I mean, what's so proud when you got to pick on the disabled people and take everything they got from them to where they have nothing left to even live for? I'm trying to find my reason for living anymore. I can't see it anymore. I'm tired of it. You know, the abuse, mentally and physically. My body is suffering, and my leg now is, you see, I can't even walk on my leg anymore because of it. I'm tired of the abuse, Joliet.
Is there anyone else that'd like to speak under public comments? Seeing none, next is mayor and council comments.
Can I please go first?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, thank you so much. This has been the longest period of time that I've gone without coughing since Sunday. So I just want to thank the council, my colleagues on the council, the mayor, the city managers, and the clerk and I can't leave out IT, who ran through this with me today to make sure that I could still vote. I was hit with the COVID gun, So just because it's summer doesn't mean you can't get infected. So I appreciate everyone making this happen, and I just want to mention a few things that I've done over the last couple of weeks. I want to thank the city manager, Beth Beatty, and also the mayor for attending the Heal the Hood event. Jerron Neighbors, tomorrow starts today. Had an amazing event. There was a big bouncy house. All About You Barber Lounge did over 40 barber cuts. There were so many things that were happening there. But more than that, it was from the moment that we pulled up until the moment we left, there were constituents all over asking us questions. They had issues in their neighborhood. They had concerns that they wanted us to hear. So that was way beyond just the way that it looked. There was a lot more that was done on that day, and I appreciate it. I also attended Sacred Heart closing dinner. Pat Mead and Kendra Coleman invited me to that dinner, and it was very bittersweet. It's the only Black Catholic church in Joliet, and the Archdiocese did close that church. It was very, very sad for them, but it was really a reflection of all of the years and all of the hard work they've done fighting for justice in the community. And Miss President Deborah Upshaw of the Black Hook of Women was the caterer, and that food was 10 out of 10 mouth-watering. So I finally got to taste her delectable food. Also, you know, really great things are happening here. Holston Human Capital Development worked with Jeff Eberhardt of Easy Auto Sales and the Guardian Group that does all the micro pantries throughout Will County. And the Will Grundy Building Trades agreed to make that their apprenticeship and journeyman project. And so on Saturday, the mayor, myself, and Herb Brooks, the pastor, is going to be receiving one of the micro pantry boxes at his church. Got to go out and see the finishing touches be put on the micro pantry boxes. And I'm not sure that anyone, even the Will Grundy Building Trades, realizes that each of these pantries serve a minimum of 1,000 clients a year. So with these 6 boxes donated by the Will Grundy Building Trades, by the roofers union, put roofs on these, the painters union painted them, the carpenters union put them together, measured it out, and put everything together, that we're a minimum serving 6,000 families in the city of Joliet. And so, yeah, great things are really happening here. I also want to just say that with the CDBG funds and the Diocese of Joliet that manages Catholic Charities, and I wrote it down, I'm sorry, I'm having COVID brain, but the homeless center that needs the heating and the AC and the cameras. I really would like to see the Diocese of Joliet as a whole. You know, we put money into that. I'd like to see them put money into that. I've been made fully aware that they don't put a lot into that particular agency. And, you know, there are warming and cooling shelter. Sometimes when there's no other places open, they, in inclement weather, they do warming and cooling. So I'm imploring to the Diocese of Joliet to put some funds, just like the city of Joliet did, into that shelter and that help, because it's greatly needed in the city of Joliet for our homeless issue. And with that, I'm going to end. Thank you so much.
It's always hard to follow Susanna, that is for sure. I just want to say another thank you to our new poet laureate, Mr. Torres. That was absolutely beautiful. You literally, your words took me on a journey throughout the entire town. It was beautiful. I want to say to my people up here, though, who, when he was talking about the street lamp nestled in the trees, were afraid that it was going to be burnt out. Because that's the calls we're always getting. Anyways, but thank you. It was truly beautiful. And other than that, I just want to say to everybody, have a safe and fun 4th of July. Be careful out there. So that's it.
I'm up. Okay, I'll be brief. I attended the Bicentennial Park public safety meeting, and it was very informative and very good questions. And people that didn't show up were watching it at home on TV, and they can still watch it on Channel 6 in case you missed it. It was very informative. Kudos to the police department and the fire department and mayor, who's also there. I went to the Taste of Joliet 2 nights, Friday and Saturday night. I could not believe the crowds that were there on such hot evenings. It was amazing. This is Joliet, so now we're up and coming finally, forever. It's not gonna be there and then go down. We're gonna continue this success. Also to the History on Wheels Museum on Jackson Street, the former Cassidy House. They had family descendants of the Cassidys who attended the event as well, and they're coming along with it, and I can't wait till they have all the artifacts in there. It's going to be very, very interesting, and it'll be ongoing for people. And let's see, just want to wish everybody a safe, please, 4th of July. Be mindful of your neighbors that have dogs that are scared to death with the firecrackers get thrown in the yard. That's just dangerous. If you're gonna do it, just do it in your safe place, but don't bother the neighbors, please. And last but not least, I would like my phone number back on the television, because my phone number's been on there for years, and now all of a sudden, when it says Councilwoman Jan Quillman, there's no phone number. So can we get that back on there, the 726 number, please?
I'll let JCTV know.
Okay. Other than that, be well and stay safe, everyone. Thank you.
Wish everybody a happy and safe 4th of July.
First of all, I would like to extend my condolences to Joliet Fire Department Captain Kevin Hargis's family. As most of us, I'm sure, are aware, he passed away at home over the weekend, Saturday morning, I believe. So if we could have a moment of silence to honor him, would that be okay? Everybody on board? Thank you. Chief, how's his family doing, okay? Under the circumstances?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. As far as the prison, well, you know, I voted against the funding. You know, our funding is well in excess now of $300,000 a year for the prison, or for the museum, I'm sorry, but they also get free rent. That's a lot of money too. You know, we had a inspector general that did an investigation that did not put the museum in a good light, did it? But he was fired, and we haven't replaced him that I'm aware of yet, so we don't have somebody to pick that up. Because it just seemed to go away quietly into the night, didn't it? That whole investigation. As far as you guys being banned, I object to that myself, but we can't force them. They're a private nonprofit, even though they get all kinds of our taxpayer dollars. Mr. Fairbolt gets to do what he wants, no matter how much misguided it is. So I am on your side, guys, but I'm going to tell you like it is, we can't force them. The public can, we can't. With that said, April 19th, if it wasn't for April 19th, we wouldn't be celebrating July 4th, would we? What was April 19th? April 19th, 1775, the shot heard around the world, right? Lexington and Concord, which kicked off our move to independence. And what was our move to independence about? Our move to independence was not just about taxes, that was huge. We all know about the Boston Tea Party and all that. It was about self-governance. It was about saying someone who lives way far away from me is not going to govern me and ignore what I have to say. Gosh, does that sound familiar? With that said, July 4th is when they adopted the Declaration of Independence, and then they signed it August 2nd, so for whatever that's worth. With that said, I want everyone to celebrate your rights, your independence and your rights on July 4th. I want you to enjoy the holiday, but I want you on each and every day to protect your rights. I want you to say no to people who govern from afar, even today, and don't listen to what we have to say. If you don't understand what I'm saying, look at your property tax bill, right? Look at your income tax. Look at your taxes. Didn't taxes have something to do with that? Yeah, it did. With that revolution. We are not an experiment. We are a country of families. A country of families facing financial strife right now. A country of families who are losing their rights each and every day. So, I wish everyone not only a happy Independence Day, but I request that you do fight to retain your rights. Because those rights started on April 19th, the fight for them, and went through World War I, World War II, Korea, Desert Storm, Vietnam. I mean, our men and women have protected those rights near and far. We need to protect the rights that they afforded us. All too often nowadays, we don't. So let's keep that in mind. It's not just about barbecues, and I'll be barbecuing. It's about our independence, our self-governance, and our rights. So happy Independence Day, folks.
I'll also send my condolences to Captain's family. And I think a lot of what I was going to say has been said already. I was also there at the Taste of Joliet. I think it's probably one of our biggest turnouts yet. And the weather cooled off by Sunday, so I was grateful for that. I was also there at the groundbreaking ceremony for the History on Wheels Museum, as well as Councilwoman Quillman. Councilwoman Ibarra was there. Our Congresswoman Lauren Underwood. So it's fantastic to see that project moving forward, to see it finally be materialized, and I think as we drive past there now, because I live around the corner, so I drive past there just about every day, to see the building just physically improving and not have these boarded up windows and look like dilapidated. It's really turning around. So excited to have that project moving forward. As some of the rest of us have said already, looking forward to this 4th of July, celebrating Independence Day. But I will say that Independence Day tends to get a little bit tense every 4 years, and with in anticipation of what might happen in November. So I will say that there's no need to try to outcompete each other about who's a patriot and who's more patriotic than anyone else, because as often as we disagree up here on the dais, and as disagreements happen at home, that ironically is the most beautiful thing about this country, is that we have that ability to disagree, and that discourse is allowed, that we are allowed to express our dissenting opinions, and that as much as we might have disagreements with each other, we are at the end of the day all Americans. So happy Independence Day to everyone, and as been said already, stay safe.
Yeah, everything's pretty much already been said. My condolences to the Hargis family and friends, and then all the members of the fire department. And then have a happy and safe 4th of July. Thanks.
Yeah, the same way, condolences to the firefighters' family and the entire fire department. And likewise, I think right now, like you said, I'm excited to see that the Town Square was approved, and we're going to get that moving forward. You said, looking at what happened with the Joliet Park District's Taste of Joliet, it was amazing to see the amount of people that were out there. And I was even just grateful to see our police department being able to maintain such a crowd, and with no incidents, and just to be out there in a massive crowd, but to feel safe at the same time, just felt great. And then you seen families out there. It was all age groups, young, older, teenagers, everything. And to see in all 3 days, people from all over coming to visit our city, and looking at the crowd and just seeing that that's Joliet, right? We do get a lot of the negativity of, like, in the past, I would say, 'cause I don't hear it as much as often anymore. But in the past, it used to feel like Joliet, oh, Joliet this, Joliet that. But to see an event of that size, to go out without a hitch and have such a success, and have so many people have enjoyed it was just a great. So congratulations to the Park District, and thanks to our Joliet Police Department for making sure that everyone can enjoy the event, feel safe with their families out there, and have a great time. And we, obviously, we got a weekend lined up with many events happening in Joliet. Our Slammers are having, games starting tomorrow all the way to Sunday. They have a bobblehead night. They have a lot of great things happening. I'm sure it'll be a great day for people to come out and enjoy the week. And just happy 4th of July to everyone, and just stay safe.
Go ahead, Joe.
Thanks, Mayor. Yeah, I just want to thank Greg Rody and his staff, and everybody had a hand in it. The downtown, I mean, we're knocking out these weeds. We're cleaning up the downtown, and expanding outward. So take a look. We are making some progress. There's a lot of work to do, but I just want to thank you for all the hard work. So thanks.
Thank you.
Mayor, I have one more comment, if you don't mind.
All right, Jan, I'm almost out of things to say.
No, you won't like,
Everybody's already said it.
well, you
I'm
won't
just
like
kidding.
this comment, okay? But I wanted an answer, and I didn't get an answer, so I was wondering, these museum folks have been here, and I was asking if we could have a meeting or whatever, and I didn't get an answer about that. So I was wondering, where are we with this?
Where are we with?
Well, I didn't get an answer back.
So an answer to,
What I asked you about the other day, or if you can even just meet with them without us meeting.
Yeah,
This needs
so-
to be addressed. I know You know, I get the whole thing where there's nothing we can do, but we own the building, we maintain the building. It's got the Joliet building, or our name on it, the Joliet Historical Museum. These I've known these folks. I know these people. I just can't believe that they're just being ignored and tossed to the side. I just can't believe that. So I didn't know what happened. I saw the report, Inspector General report, but then there was never any follow-up. It was just tabled here quickly, and that was the night I was not allowed to talk. So I just want to know where we're at with that.
Sure.
'Cause we
So,
can't leave these people hanging.
yeah, no problem. You asked about talking about in closed session.
Right.
Due to state law, we cannot do that because it is not our personnel. This is a separate entity. It's not a city entity, so it does not qualify. So that's the answer to that number one question. Number two, I would really encourage all of you to reach out to the board of the museum and the prison. They are backing up their executive director on this. So it's not just him making the decision, the board is backing him up as well. I can make a personal commitment to you that I will try to help speak with the board members and Greg himself. I suspect, I appreciate all of your work that you've done, and I suspect you just got caught up in a bad situation there. I don't have any comment on the report for the Inspector General. It was, I don't have a exact word for what it was, but it doesn't help the city. It's not, we don't have any evidence there or anything that the city can act on legally. So all we can do is pledge our support as a council and as a city to the people that have been affected by this. And I am happy to commit to all of you that I've been in contact with the board, but that I'll continue to do that and continue to talk to him. I'm happy to meet with any of you individually if that's helpful. So officially, because we are a separate entity, there is nothing legally I can do, but I can certainly help use my position to hear you and to communicate with them and hopefully reach some resolution. And in the meantime, you're doing great work with Ron over at the Museum of Rock and Roll. So thank you for that, and thank you for your service to Joliet in general.
Thank you, Beth. That's all they wanted was a meeting. So I appreciate you coming up and doing it. I know there's nothing we can do.
Yeah, absolutely. I have no problem meeting, talking about it, and advocating on your behalf.
So thank you for that. I appreciate it. Sorry, Mayor.
Okay. No, I'm glad you brought that up. We do need to work to address and help mitigate that. I too would like to give my condolences to the fire department for the loss of a friend, a family member, and to the police department. You know, you're all one unit. You're all first responders, and I know a lot of times you're all on the same calls, and it's hard to lose a family member, particularly suddenly and young. So to Kevin's family and to the first responder family here in Joliet, I offer my condolences as well. Many of the things that I was going to say tonight have already been said, so I'm not going to get redundant like it tells us you got 4 minutes and don't say the same things, right? But I do have a couple pieces of news I really like to share. So since September 2023, we have done 8 checks of businesses who are licensed to sell tobacco, vape, and alternative nicotine products. We did another one on July 1st. So we have, out of the 8 checks, approximately 50 or more violations. On July 1st, we did 10. We caught 3 in violations, of which 2 were second-timers and 1 was a third-timer. And so this is it's becoming more effective, but we're going to start stomping out this stuff. This just does not belong in our community. So I'm real proud of our police department. I thank them for all the work they're doing to commit to this and continue to go after it. We need to hold these establishments accountable. And I know the school is very strongly behind this, so we want to make sure we continue this and let the word get out there. Do not do it, because we're not going to play. I attended the Joliet Retired Teachers Association meeting on the 26th, and I got to tell you, I was a little nervous walking in there. I wasn't the greatest kid in school, and none of them recognized me, so it was fine. I had a great time, had lunch with them, and just great people, you know. We all remember that favorite teacher we have, and there was just wonderful people in the room. Again, I want to thank the police and fire and everybody that was involved in putting together that public safety open forum. I think it was very successful, and I think we'll have more successful forums like that in the future. Attended the Day of Healing at St. Mark's Church. Jerron Neighbors did a great job putting that together. Tomorrow starts today. And they really are bringing the community together. Neighborhoods that might not have thought about doing that were there, and it was extremely important to do that, and it was just a great day. I had a lot of fun. More importantly than that, I was there with Susanna and Beth and Harley, and after we attended, Beth and Harley and I walked across the street to meet with a real local hero, a guy named Willie McCullough. Willie McCullough is 95 years and 8 months old. Willie McCullough is a survivor of Heartbreak Ridge, one of the biggest battles ever in American history. He not only went in one time as an infantry, he came out and they put him back in artillery. Willie is a local hero. And he's just one of many. I mean, I thank everyone for their service. And it's really kind of cool to go sit in the front porch with a guy like that and hear his stories. So thanks, Willie. And I think that's about all I got. You know, again, like Susanna said, I really was impressed with all the local unions getting together to build those micro pantries. And I pointed out that Jeff Eberhard started that. He's from Easy Auto, put one in front of his place. The 6 that they built were the number 175th that will be placed in our region here. So thanks to everyone for doing that. That was really, again, seeing the community coming together. Great things are happening in Joliet. So happy 4th of July to everyone, and thank you.
Is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
So moved.
Second.
Second.
It's been motioned and seconded to approve. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Aye.
Meeting adjourned.
Before the council leaves, could we all get together for a picture with the poet?
Yeah.